All right, folks, God bless you. Here we go. Okay, you got part one. And what we're doing right now is we're doing an intermission of education. I don't want this to be part of part two because I need you guys to absorb just a couple minutes of understanding how to be as wise as a serpent. I'm going to teach you. Okay. So I want you to understand something that from the past and the far past, before Christ, BC, there is symbology that was used back then, and the symbology and what it stood for back then remains the same today. They've just advanced it over the years. They use the same symbology to communicate the same message. So those of them that are in the know, they know exactly what's being communicated. For those people that have no idea about symbology and the meaning of, like, images of, let's say, the crescent moon, images of the crescent moon with the sun, what that really means and where it comes from, you're going to be at a great disadvantage when you're trying to wade your way through some of this information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very short little video here, and I'm going to show you the origins of Islam, Catholicism, and then you'll see these particular images and the delivery of the information that's coming this afternoon. And you will need your spatulas. I guarantee it. You're going to need them. Okay, so let's just do this real quick. And again, also I wanted to tell you, part of the reason I need to do it like this is because that annoying program, it's very difficult to play other videos during this production and use the audio and use this virtual tour of the Vatican. It just creates a problem within the program. So I want to use the virtual tour right now to show you something, and then I don't have to mess with that audio in the next part. So let's do it. Okay, so here we go. Did y'all know that the Statue of Liberty was based on a Muslim woman? Most people don't know that. Most people don't know who the sculptor is. They don't know what the original intent for the sculpture was. They don't know who was the guy is that even built it. Most people don't even know that information. I know that information. So the Statue of Liberty was originally based on a Muslim woman. And as you go do your homework, you'll find out it was originally going to stand looking over the Suez Canal. But I just want y'all to know that. That's just a little tidbit of information. So now that I've shown you that, I'm going to get rid of that. Now, I'm going to show you the top of the Sistine Chapel right there. This is very important. What's so important about this is we're going to drop in and we're going to get that really annoying, that very annoying Gregorian chanting for a couple minutes. But you got to see something. Remember when they were standing in there singing to Lucifer, dawning his own creation? It's true. It's true. This is Lucifer's world. It's a world of complete darkness. You were brought here and enslaved here within a host body system. That's all going to prove out completely in the scriptures. It's easy to prove now. It's easy to show it to you. Just sit tight and watch and give glory to the Lord God, because this is his knowledge. It's not mine. But let me show you how this plays out, how this communicates. Okay, we're going to drop in here and we're going to have a look for a second. Now, we're going to drop right in here in number 2. I'm going to turn my volume down. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's right. There we go. So y'all, hopefully y'all are not hearing some annoying Gregorian chanting. So let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to look up. We're going to look up. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Let's look at the very top of this. Most people have no idea. Most people don't look up and bother to understand what all this symbology is. Okay, everybody look right here in the middle. Okay, so we're going to start with one star. We'll start with this star right here. We'll count this star as number 1. Now, those are 8-pointed stars. So let's count them. Ready? We'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And there's the first one we started with that was in between these two bars. Just to make sure, you see these two bars? We're starting with the one in between. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32. And there's the one that we started with. Do y'all know how significant that is, what you're looking at? Do you know what you're really looking at? You're looking at symbology that's carried over for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Do you know where the 8-pointed star comes from? See, this is very important stuff you need to know for what we're about to do, because I'm going to prove to you your identity's been hidden in Christ. Remember, like I showed you the mote that's in the eye and the beam? It's not what you thought. It's way bigger. This is way bigger. So we had 32 8-pointed stars. Okay, so let's do this. Let me give you a quick education. Okay, Strong's Concordance. Strong's Concordance 32. It means angel. It means my Father is might, and it means angel, angelos, right here. Okay, so the number 32 in the Strong's Concordance is angelos. It means angel. See, angelos. Okay, there's 32, so it means angel, but what's important is the type of star that it actually is. Because you're looking at an 8-pointed star up here. So there's 32 8-pointed stars. How many of y'all have read the book of Jeremiah? Have you ever read Jeremiah? You know about how the Lord talking about the Queen of Heaven and how they bake cakes and make sacrifice and they pour out drink offerings to the Queen of Heaven. It's in Jeremiah. And that is the mother goddess system that rules this planet and who runs them. Now watch. Okay, so we've identified this. I'm going to go back just in case there is any chanting. I don't want to take the chance. And there it is. There's the ceiling right there. And there's your 32 8-pointed stars. Okay, well, let me show you the 8-pointed star of Lucifer right here. 8-pointed star of Lucifer. There's the 8-pointed star of Lucifer right here. Okay, I'm going to click on this one. The 8-pointed star of Inanna and Ishtar is synonymous. It means it's the same thing as the star of Lucifer. Inanna and Ishtar, 8-pointed star. That's very important. Let me show you why. Because when you're in the Vatican and you're standing over here and you're looking at that big dead sheep that's a penis and a vagina, and it's a bunch of God's angels turning into semen running down the side of a penis, which is absolutely disgusting, but it is what it is. I didn't build the altar. They built it. Why? Let me show you why. Okay, what do you see on this altar right here? Wow, there's more 8-pointed stars. You see them? There's an 8-pointed star, 8-pointed star, 8-pointed star, 8-pointed star. And above this thing I just showed you, when you look in this dome right here, that ceiling right there from the inside has 32 8-pointed stars. So who's the 8-pointed star represent? Represents Lucifer. Let me show you. Okay, so here we go. There is the 8-pointed star of Inanna, Ishtar. But let's go to Ishtar. The star of Ishtar, or the star of Inanna. See, here it is right over here. There it is. That's exactly what's on the ceiling. That's exactly what's on the altar. 32 of them means angel. And the angel they're talking about is their king, Lucifer. That's why they stand there and they saying, Lucifer, Flamius, dawning his own creation. Yeah, because he did. He started the male-female host body system in Genesis 1. Okay, this is the big mystery. So the star of Ishtar, or the star of Inanna, is a symbol of ancient Sumerian goddess Inanna. Interesting. and her East Semitic counterpart Ishtar. So Inanna and Ishtar are one and the same. One for one region, one for another region. But they are the same thing, mother goddess. Alongside the lion, it was one of Ishtar's primary symbols because Ishtar was associated with the planet Venus. Oh, the morning star. Now here is a depiction of the star of Ishtar on a kuduru. Let's say a type of stone document used as a boundary stone in records of land to grant vassals by the Kassites in ancient Babylonia between the 16th and 12th century before Christ. So here we go. So there is an actual carving. Look what's right here. Do you see what's right there? That is the identical image that's on the ceiling of the Vatican. All it's done is moved over time to a different place. And so this is you're literally looking at the ancient Babylonian religion of Ishtar or Inanna. Let me walk it down for you real quick. Okay, so that star is that star. Watch this. Bam, there it is. Okay. Well, let's go to the image of the Vatican. Wow. And there it is right there. There it is there. There it is there. There it is there. And there it is there. And it also happens to be on the ceiling, and there's 32 of them, and 32 of them means angel. And we're going to show you who the angel is, because they put their symbology all over the altar to show who they really worship. That way the sheep don't wake up and know what the hell's going on while they're standing there openly worshiping Lucifer in front of a dead sheep and all God's angels that were brought here as slaves to be their food source, coming in the mouth of the serpent, and the light coming through that window is the energy source going into the mouth of the serpent. Now you know why they call Lucifer the light bearer, the light bringer. He was the angel that brought all the light, which were you and me. We were the light to run the light bulb, to run the system, and we're the food source. We're the energy source. So that's why they worship Lucifer. So here we go. So the star of Ishtar, the star of Inanna, is a symbol of ancient Sumerian goddess Inanna. And her East Semitic counterpart, let's look at a picture of her. There's Inanna. And her Eastern Semitic counterpart, by the way, it makes a bug when you turn it upside down. And her East Semitic counterpart, Ishtar, alongside the line, it was one of Ishtar's primary symbols because Ishtar was associated with the planet Venus. There's Venus right there. 8-pointed star. And also known as the star of Venus. Okay. Well, now let's go to Inanna. Okay. So here you go. Inanna was, let me enlarge it a little bit for you so you can read it with me. Inanna was the ancient Sumerian goddess of love, beauty, sex, desire, fertility, war, combat, justice, and political power. She was later worshipped by the Akkadians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians under the name Ishtar. She was known as, oh my gosh, the Queen of Heaven. Read it for yourself. And the patron goddess of the Inanna temple at the city Uruk, which was her main cult center. She was associated with the planet Venus, and her most prominent symbol included the lion and the 8-pointed star. Okay, so her husband was a god, Dumuzid, the shepherd known as Tammuz. So see, now all of a sudden you're starting to go, wait a minute, all this stuff has been here this whole time. It's just moved through the centuries and it's shown up in a apostate form of, it's certainly not Christianity. Christians don't worship idols. They don't bow down to idols. They don't pray to statues. And they certainly don't worship the Virgin, but they do. The goddess, Mother Goddess. And so Inanna is who? Who is Inanna related to in the Bible? The Queen of Heaven. Okay, isn't that what I show y'all, that you take the Virgin and you turn the Virgin upside down and it's a dead sheep? Let me show that to you real quick. Okay, so when you take an image of the Virgin and you turn it upside down, because Isaiah said, those who try and hide their plans from the Lord are doomed. They carry out their schemes in secret and think no one will see them or know what they are doing. They turn everything upside down. So you're in their world where everything is concealed in front of your face. The ones that are running the show, they know what's up, but you don't, because you're just one of the stupid sheep. And you're brought here as a source of energy to run their system. And you live out your life in total darkness. And if you don't get converted, then you go to the pit and you're food for a race of locusts, which is what they're using you for, to come out of the pit and make war against the Lord God. Now, everything I say, I'm going to prove. I'm going to let the Lord use me to prove to you everything I tell you. And I'll give you concrete examples. This is not some channel that says, oh, the Lord gave me a 7-page letter, and they have no proof. This ministry comes with the Lord's proof. And spatulas. Lots of spatulas. So there you go. So now here's the thing. This is so obvious. When you take a look at this and you just turn it upside down, that this is a sheep. There's the eye of the sheep, coming down the face, nostril, cleft in the lip, the tongue sticking out. And there's the rainbow, because see, the light, Lucifer was the light bearer. And by using the female and the male host body system to capture God's children from heaven, he was able to put them into a transmutation device called a host body, which is inherently evil, and self-cannibalize them using a demon and an angel within the same host body system. Do y'all remember the Scion commercial where the one sheep gets away and he runs off to the car? You remember that? What kills him? His own reflection. Oh, your duality, because there's a good you and there's a bad you, and your reflection is your enemy. The host body system is here to destroy you, and you got put in it. So all this is going to play out in the next video, so pay attention, because the next video that I do is going to be 2 to 3 hours, and y'all's jaws are going to completely unhinge. So let me give you a quick education before we get there. Okay, so now there's no doubt about it that the Mother Goddess, the Queen of Heaven, the way she hides her stuff is she turns everything upside down. There it is. And when you're in the Vatican itself, and you look at the largest altar in the world is a dead sheep, which is what you get when you turn the Virgin upside down. There it is. There's a sheep. There's an actual sheep. And there's the actual altar. That is a sheep, and so is that. But when you turn that altar upside down, it becomes the female reproductive system, which is going to be the most important thing about all of this. It goes back to Genesis 1. So he did create them male and female. Y'all know what Fe is on the periodic table of elements? Anyone know their chemistry? I had to take it in college and took it in high school. Fe is iron. Fe, iron mixed with miry clay. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So when you turn the Virgin upside down, it's a dead sheep. Here's a Virgin. We'll put it there, turn it upside down. That's another dead sheep. There it is. Eye, ear. Tongue sticking out right here. Nose. Eye, here. So why is it always a dead sheep? Because we're the sheep and the Virgin system kills sheep. There's a Virgin, turn it upside down, it's a dead sheep. So that's a no-brainer. When you turn the dead sheep upside down, it's the Virgin, look. So you turn the dead sheep upside down, it's the female reproductive system. And the opening to the female reproductive system is that window that's above the sheep's head, which is all God's angels coming in, the source of light coming into the mouth of the serpent, because the whole building's a serpent. So the source of light that's coming into the mouth of the serpent from outside, the source of light is God's angels. God's angels turn into a big sheep, and they become the food source for the serpent. And there's a big bug as well, because the serpent is, the above ground race is feeding a below ground race of locusts. Okay, now we've established that. I've shown you this. I've shown you the star of Ishtar. Ishtar is the star of Venus. Venus is the morning star, Lucifer. And Iana, the Sumerian goddess, is the same as Ishtar, is the queen of heaven. Okay, so now we've established the Catholic Church that worships the Virgin, worships the queen of heaven, which is just another way of saying Lucifer, the morning star, Venus. That's why there's 32 images, 32 eight-pointed stars, angel, and the eight-pointed star is Lucifer. Lucifer, the angel. Do you get it? The head angel. That's who a lot of God's angels made the mistake of going with. I'm gonna wrap this up very quickly by going through this origins very quickly. We're going to do this quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. You guys can go look it up yourself, but I'm going to read through this so you know this is very important. And this will conclude the intermission of education before we launch into Oh My Lord. Get ready. Okay. The symbol of Islam is the sickle moon and the star. The star within the sickle moon. Okay, y'all have seen that before, right here. Now, where does this symbol really come from? And who is Allah? Let's go to some interesting quotes from Encyclopedia of Religion and etc. Allah, he was the moon god who married the sun goddess. Together they produced three goddesses who were called the daughters of Allah. These three goddesses were called Alat, Al-Uzza, and Manat. Okay, now you're going to see how these different religions, from like Akkadian, Babylonian, Egyptian, how they overlap and they intermingle, and they're just sharing symbology. That's all. And how it all ends up as Catholicism. Weird. It's true though, because I've drawn in an image of the Virgin, and when you turn it upside down, I was like, oh my God, it's an Arab king. And I was in shock. And I'll show that to you in the next section. Okay. The Encyclopedia of Religion mentions that Allah is a pre-Islamic name corresponding to Babylonian Bel. Bel is the devil. So, like Baal, like Beelzebub. So this is an ancient pagan religion, and Baal is the deity. We read in Morals and Dogma. I don't know if y'all know who Morals and Dogma with Albert Pike, Morals and Dogma, Satanist. Okay. The Arabian word Aldebaran means the foremost or leading star, and it could only have been so named. When it precedes or leads all other, the year that then opened with the sun in Taurus and the multitude of the ancient sculptures, both in Assyrian and Egypt, wherein the bull appears with the lunette or the crescent horns and the disk of the sun between them, right here. All of y'all have probably seen this in Egyptian theology. There's the bull with the crescent horns and the sun in between them. And the direct allusion to the important festival of the first new moon of the year, there was everywhere an annual celebration of the festival of the first new moon, when the year opened with Sol, the sun, and Luna, the moon, in Taurus. The crescent and the disk combined always represent the conjunctive sun and moon. That means basically that, pay attention, male and female deity. What is on the altar of the dead sheep? male penis and female vagina, male and female. Okay, and that's Lucifer's kingdom. That's it. That's his kingdom. Why do you think Baphomet, the goat god, has boobs and a wanker? I'm sorry. It's like, because that's his system. Okay, here we go. That basically means male and female deity, male and female aspect. It was worship, adoration of the celestial cow, Mehet and Weret. We can see the eye of Horus, the horn, and here I'll show this to you in just a minute. And there is a disc in the horn, and it's represented the plunging of the sun god into the womb of the mother to be born by Isis. So the horns are also a representation of the moon, and the moon, the sickle moon. And so here we go. You see this right here? All the way back to ancient Babylonia. Okay, and this goes back to Syria, Babylonian. Okay, in later religion, from Babylon itself, Assyrian style, they have the half moon with the solar disk and the Baal Hadad, the birth of the sun. Okay, and you can see these images. Just go back and look at, birth of the sun. Type into Google Images. These. You just read this right here. Type it into Google Images, and you'll see these ancient Babylonian and Assyrian and Mesopotamian reliefs. Together with the Mesopotamian, we find that the symbol of Baal was exactly the same as the half moon and the star in representing the birth of the sun, Isis and Osiris, male and female aspect. This would be Ashtaroth and Thammuz, or Isis and Horus, the male and female. The same you'll find Egyptian, as we have already discussed. This Baal worship, this is Lucifer worship, and it is male and female fold. Exactly. And this is a monstrance, and I've got this in my show notes, carried by the Pope, and that this is exactly what it symbolizes. So, if you go do a little bit of your homework, and you'll start noticing, wow, why would a police car have a crescent moon and a star inside of it? Really important that you know one other thing. If you really use the Islamic symbol correctly, you would have to turn it around upside down, because the moon is a representation of the uterus upside down. So that's very important, because one of the biggest spatula moments y'all are going to have is when I show you what the sigil of Baphomet really is and where it's in front of everybody. This is one of the biggest reveals that the Lord's ever given me. It's as big as the Vatican being a serpent wearing a crown. So that's coming on the next section. But before I get there, I want to do this, so when I show it to you, I can go, remember what I showed you? Remember how the crescent moon, you turn it upside down, it's really the uterus. Don't forget that. The crescent moon, when you turn it upside down, represents the uterus. Okay, because their symbology, and knowing their symbology, is a language in itself. And when you know how they speak their language, it's easy to see what they're doing. Okay. So anyway, so there we go. That's enough of that. Let me show you a picture how this same stuff plays out in everyday life. There's a cop car with a crescent moon and a star in it, and it's the birthing of, Lucifer's children on this planet. But let me show you another one that's mind-boggling. Okay, so about 3 hours north of San Antonio is a city called Waco, Texas. Remember where David Koresh was, in his cult following, was destroyed by the ATF? They went in there and killed all those people. Well, let me show you something. The city of Waco, there's their seal right there. Waco, Texas logo. You're looking at it. I didn't make this up. It is the city of Waco. Okay, well, you see, it's two interlocking V's. It's a V with a star and a V with a crescent moon. That's a very weird logo. See, it's a letter W, and it's interlocking V's making a W. So the half and half, 5 and 5, Roman numeral 5, Roman numeral 5. But they put a star on one leg of this V, and they put a crescent moon on the leg of this V. All you got to do is turn it upside down if you want to see the truth. Because their world is concealed. The way they conceal everything is they turn it upside down. They never figure you'll think, oh, the whole world's upside down and backwards. I think I'll just start turning everything upside down. They're like, no, you're in a mental prison sin lockdown. They've got you mentally locked down. Okay, so there's the city of Waco. Look. 9/11. Oh, you mean like the commercials I showed you, like the Heineken commercial, where he gets pulled into a party with the number 6, the flesh, and he has a big flesh party, and then they throw him out, and it goes to 9. Turn the 6 upside down, turns to a 9. Oh, you're going to get judged now because you went to the flesh party. Do you get it? And then who's his boss? It showed the 11 behind the guy on the wall. 9/11, the angel of the bottomless pit. Simple, right? Wow. So here we go, the city of Waco. Turn it upside down. It's a 9 and an 11. Number 9 and then 11. And it's a crescent moon and the star. Why in the world would we have a symbol for Islam running the city of Waco, Texas? Because they have a king that runs them. Did you know the Catholic Church is, Catholic Church created Islam. Islam was created by the Catholic Church. A lot of stuff y'all don't know. Now that you're starting to wake up and know it, arise, O sleeper, wake up from the dead. Because when you were brought here and you were put inside of a host body, your essence, you were brought to a planet that's actually dead. The whole thing is dead. You're the walking dead. Arise, O sleeper, wake up from the dead, and Christ will give you light. Did you know your identity is hidden in Christ? That's right. Okay, so now look, I've given you enough of an education on some symbology that when we do the next part here, which is coming out today, you will have the basics that you needed to know for what we're going to be revealing here. Now, don't forget, the Statue of Liberty is based on a Muslim woman, okay? Because the Statue of Liberty is not at all what you thought. And I'm going to use the Statue of Liberty in the Catholic Church to literally unhinge your jaws. I guarantee it. Get ready. Okay, so that's it for right now. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to clean up that desktop. So it's going to be a lot easier to deliver the rest of this in a nice, uniform, mind-blowing fashion. Okay, this was just a little break to give you an education that you're going to need for the next part. Okay, God bless, guys. Get ready.